On the day of my marking ceremony, my mate, Alex Burke, and my sister, Rose Roth, are caught mating in the dressing room. This renders me the laughingstock of the entire pack. While I'm drowning in humiliation, Nate Highland steps forward and marks me in front of everyone. After we get married, Nate treats me exceptionally well. However, we're never able to conceive a pup. Eventually, I turn to IVF and finally get pregnant. Nate becomes even more attentive to me. He even calls me darling in his sleep. I think this is a blessing from the moon goddess. This continues until I hear the conversation between Nate and his beta one day. How could you, Nate? Luna Diana adores you and cares for you so much. But just because Rose is scared of pain and doesn't want to go through pregnancy, you secretly switched their eggs and made Luna Diana carry her child? The pup is due in 2 months. What are you going to do about this? Nate goes silent for a moment. Then, he sighs softly and replies, when the pup is born, I'll hand him to Rose and let her live out her dream of being a mother. I'll tell Diana the pup was stillborn. He's just an abandoned omega. Staying with her for life is compensation enough. So all the love and tenderness he showed me is fake. I immediately schedule an abortion, as I don't want this filthy pup, and I am certainly not holding on to this sham of a marriage either. I may be an omega, but I am no one's pawn. How could you do this? Aren't you afraid that Luna Diana will notice? There was a long moment of silence before Nate Highland replied coolly, she won't find out. Why are you so sure? His beta asks. He depends on me completely. He sounded so sure of himself as he said that without hesitation. She'll believe whatever I tell her. His beta went silent for a few seconds before lowering his voice and saying, then I hope you won't live to regret it. Nate let out a light and relaxed chuckle, like there was nothing to worry about. That day will never come. The truth was unimaginably cruel. I stood outside the meeting room with my nails digging so hard into my palm that they drew blood. But at that moment, I didn't feel a thing. I had come to bring Nate his cloak. The northern winds had turned bitter these past few days, and I didn't want him catching a cold while patrolling the territory. No, it felt like a wolf's claw had torn straight through my chest, and the freezing wind was slicing through the raw wound. My wolf howled in my mind, feeling my pain. I staggered back to the villa we shared and collapsed onto the rug before the fireplace. I curled up tightly and hugged myself as my whole body shook. The tears just wouldn't stop. Suddenly, the door opened. Nate was back. His heavy boots clomped on the rug and drew closer to me. He was crouched over me. His voice was low and gentle as he spoke, full of the usual warmth and concern I'd grown used to. Why didn't you ask the maids to light the fire? The butler said you haven't eaten today. He also said you didn't look too well, Nate said. He reached out to tuck a loose strand of hair behind my ear, frowning worriedly. Tell me what's wrong, Diana. He took my hand in his. It was just as warm as always. He added, you need to eat something. Our pup is counting on you for nourishment. I looked up at him. The tender expression he showed on his face was flawless. So this was how convincing an alpha's love could look, even when it was all an act. 4 years ago, my fated mate, Alex Burke, and my younger sister, Rose Roth, were caught kissing during my marking ceremony. My parents forced me to step aside. They said Rose and I shared the same blood, and that it wasn't worth causing a rift over a single male werewolf. They publicly claimed that the invitations they had sent out contained a mistake. They further clarified that the marking ceremony was actually for Rose. As I was drowning in humiliation, Nate stepped out and took my hand. Without hesitation, he marked me by biting down on my neck in front of everyone. I once believed he was my savior who rescued me from shame and scorn. I had a mind for business since I was young. I was the secret leader behind the largest merchant guild in the South. After marrying Nate, I gave it all up. I quit the guild and devoted myself to supporting him as his Luna. I worked hard to build up our pack. While using my knowledge of the southern tribes and their resources, I helped him strategize and plan. In just a few years, I helped him transform a collapsing minor pack into a powerful rising force in the South. And this year, we finally conceived our heir through IVF. Everything was falling into place. Nate had held me close and said the pup was a gift from the moon goddess. The love in his eyes made me willing to give him everything. My body and my soul. For him and our pup. But now, I finally understood that it had all been a carefully woven lie. If he could pretend to be so loving, then why couldn't I? I closed my eyes. When I opened them again, they mirrored the same warmth he showed me. I'm fine. I'm just a bit tired. My voice was soft and sweet, even sounding a little playful. It betrayed none of what I truly felt inside. Nate visibly relaxed as he patted the back of my hand. It's good. I'll have the butler bring in someone to give you a massage. In my mind, I scoffed and thought, right, then, my wolf and I will keep up the act for 3 more days. In 3 more days, this ends for good.